and as you can see, it's very quiet. So how are we inside the city? And that is because we are inside the Hospital Recinte of Sant Pau, and it is a real hospital that was built during 100 years ago, and it was placed inside the city but made sure that it's quiet, it's beautiful, and as my friend said, it's also one important thing to be hygienic. So it's a hospital, but as you can see, everywhere there's a lot of open spaces so that it could have fresh air. Right now, even if it's a hospital, it's still working as a hospital, but there are spaces inside that you could visit. So that's what we're doing now. Building complex is a great example of what we call Modernisme Català, which is an architectural movement that is similar to Art Nouveau, but found specifically only here in Catalonia. The project was started by a man called Lluís Domènech i Montaner during the 1900, and it was finished by his son on the year 1930. And as you can see, it's a very big complex, and some of the parts are free, including this, which is the church, and also this is actually a university for nursing students. But right behind us, you can see this fence, which marks the line of the paid part, which houses a museum, which is also very nice to visit. We will one day, and you would have to pay, but it's very much worth it. You're gonna see more of it. The Hospital Sant Pau is actually growing and developing. It's still the same plot of land, but with the growth of the city, and it has to adapt to the modern times. So they transferred most of the modern facilities of the hospital to the modern part of it. This open space still near the modern part of the hospital is actually set for patients that have cancer or the same types of diseases, so that they have a good place to stay at. We can see different kinds of architecture within the hospital, and it's very important to take note that it started at 1900. So you will be able to see all of this. It's so beautiful. Parts of the area is used as a university, but it is also important to note that not just medical fields on this university, they also have different fields that are campused on this area of the Recinte. Parts of this area is used not just as a hospital. Aside from the museum that we saw earlier, this building right behind me is Universidad Autónoma de Barcelona's language school. Modernist Movement of Catalunya has made its own mark in architectural history and even in culture. And it's very important to take note that it is called modern because it was modern in the past. But as we can see now, 100 years later, it's never outdated. So thank you so much for joining me on this vlog episode. I want to thank my friend Clemente for being behind the camera and taking these shots of me. See you again on the next vlog, and let's explore more of Barcelona. Let's explore more of the world.